minus 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
And first of all, just got to say, happy birthday to this man over here.
70 freaking years old, man. 70 years old. There's no getting around it. You're just an old geezer, right? A senior citizen, right? Where's my cane? I need a cane.
No, you don't look 70. At 70, it's all good.
I will say you're as old as you feel, Marcus.
You're looking good for 70, Marcus.
Yeah,
Yes, indeed. So anyway, how's everyone been? Marcus, what have you been up to today? Have you been sort of blowing candles and that? Oh no, we celebrated your birthday already, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But yeah, I've been taking, phone calls from relatives and so forth. After the show here, my wife's first husband's family is going to take me out to dinner.
Oh, nice too.
Yeah.
Might sound strange, but we know the story.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look in the chat. Who's in the chat? We've got Suzanne, we've got Harvey. I've forgotten that guy's name. I can't remember who it is.
Drummer boy.
Right, there you go. And Keith and
Karen's in and Caroline.
Caroline's in. Do you want to sing something?
Caroline. Well, she said Caroline, so
Yeah.
Corey's in.
Elaine, and Bud.
Rick.
Gator Drone.
Yeah, that's Terry.
Seb.
Terry
Justin.
D.
Simon.
Steve.
Anyone else?
He's in. Yeah, lots of people.
There's lots of people. Well, there's 30 people there. Oh, and John.
Yeah.
John Flint. Right, anyway.
And Flint.
Right, I'm going to scroll right down to the bottom, if I can. So, it's too much. I'm just reading the chat.
I'm just looking at this pile of crap over here. I got to do something about that.
Yeah, Marcus has been taking deliveries all day.
Birthday gifts, maybe.
Marcus has his own Amazon van.
I got a new action camera.
What's that,
They
Marcus?
sent me for a review. Yeah.
It's JC. I used to have one of those. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you flown the anti-gravity yet, Marcus?
I haven't even taken it out of the box, so I want to do a good unboxing video. In fact, my first video, I think I'm just going to focus on showing everything that comes with the kit and so forth. That one is going to be, my use style is to just open it up and take it out and fly it and whatever. First flight. I'm going to be a little more careful with that anti-gravity drone because, for one thing, it's a different style of flight. The goggles, the whole operating system is different. So, yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, and Mills Rules is happiest birthday to you, Marcus.
That's my call.
Thank you.
Right, okay. Let's bring our guest on. Let's see what I've cooked up this week. Everyone waits for this now. Oh, it's not on it. Oh, it is.
Let's welcome this week's Drone Seekers live show special guest.
What was that?
I know exactly where that's from.
Sandboarding, that was, wasn't it?
It didn't quite work, that one. I must admit, it was a bit.
Oh, I like
I had
it.
about 3 attempts at that. I thought, you know what, that'll do.
It was nice.
Oh dear.
I think there's a story behind that.
Well, so I look at the videos and think, I need
Yeah.
a theme here. I need a theme. I'm sort of
Stay
ideas.
tuned, people, to see that video.
Anyway, Jamie, welcome to 1 Hour of Madness. You don't have to be mad to be on this show, but it helps.
It helps.
It helps. Right. Anyway, so I just got to say that Terry's not here with us
He's
tonight.
doing a charity barbecue.
A charity barbecue. He's selling the hot dogs for €1,000 each.
Good luck
He's
with that.
raising money. Anyway, so when you watch later on, Terry, I hope you've had a good day. And yeah. So
Steve, I always heard that the plural for euro is euro, not euros.
I don't know. Is that right, Jackie? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I've seen the word
Say
euro
it,
with an S on it. So
Oh, I'd say if I've got €5, I've got €5. Not I've got €5. I don't know.
yeah, I think.
Everyone says euros.
Well, in actual fact, I think I've actually
Yeah,
heard in Ireland they don't actually say euro. They don't say euros. I think they say euros. So if Alan, if you're in the chat, perhaps you can confirm that. I'm not here.
Names there. I don't know. Whether it's correct or not, I also say, oh, look at those sheeps.
No, that's definitely sheep.
Well, I dug up every euro I could find and gave it to my wife since she's in Europe right now.
Yeah, it is, yeah. She's nearer to us than she is you right now.
By far.
Indeed. So, Jamie, John's you're in Atlanta, Georgia.
I am in Atlanta. How are you?
We're good. What's the weather like today? You had the aircon earlier on, so I'm guessing it must be hot.
Yes, it is awfully hot today. But before we start, I want to say thank you for picking a flattering photo for the call out there. That was a lot of fun. After I'm flying or a day in goggles and out in the field, my hair's up here. My goggles look like I'm from Jurassic Park. What's the animal from Jurassic? Oh, that's it. The Bluffosaurus. That's what I feel I look like when I'm taking selfies out in the field. Thank you for the flattering photo.
It was all thanks to Jackie, that one.
I'll hold my hand up. I choose the pictures.
Yeah, Jackie chooses the pictures.
I assume so.
So anyway, Jamie tells you she's got a few FPVs. I don't think you actually spin your camera around. Perhaps you can.
Yeah, show us the collection.
The whole collection.
The question is, have you got more drones than Marcus?
I don't know about that, but there's quite a few.
So let's take a look here. If you count the build kits, I think there's about 14 drones on that table, including my Air 3, which is really my workhorse drone for when I'm doing commercial work, is the DJI. But then I've got 4 drones in progress that are being built. And then I also have about 8 of these build kits, which are kits to build the drones that I design.
That's 27, isn't it? Straight away.
Too many is the answer.
So maybe Jamie has got more drones than Marcus.
Yeah. He's trying to work it out. Look.
Yes.
Calculating.
It's not a competition. It's really an addiction. So you don't want to be up here like the accounts that I'm at. I don't think it's not healthy.
So obviously, when you build the drones, I mean, so you build one drone, and then you're going to build another drone. So, where do you want to go? Why are you building another drone? Is it because you can, or is it just?
I think it's a couple of things. One is I like to, have lots of tools to work with when I'm flying a job. So I do a lot of the drone work I do is both for fun, and then a lot of it is commercial. And so I showed you the really big one. If you want me to walk off screen and just grab some, I'll bring them in here. But
Yeah, go on. It's not often we see a drone with like.
This is the big one, which is a Cinelifter, which is an X8. So there's 8 propellers on here. It's 8 inches, and I built this so that I could carry a cinema camera on top, something like a Blackmagic, something like when I get better, I could fly a Red on top of this, and you can put this up in the air and chase cars and get cinema grade video out of that.
Nice.
Versus when I'm flying a stage around talent and I don't want to hurt anybody. I want something that's absolutely teeny. This weighs with battery, this is 36 grams.
Oh,
and
wow.
So the only way you can get hurt with this is having it land in your hair and
pull all your hair out.
Acts like a curler of some sort.
I've done before. There's a picture of me sitting here with a drone on my shoulder, and it's because it's in my hair. So
I couldn't find that one for the cover.
So I like to have different tools, and I also just like to play. One of these kits on my desk is a VTOL with, that'll be a 3D printed VTOL, so it can take off vertically and then, fly forward like an airplane. So I just like to learn and build cool things.
Yeah.
So Jamie, I'm curious, what kind of commercial work do you do?
So a lot of it is really what I think most people would consider boring, but I love it because I get to get outside and fly on beautiful days and get paid for it. It would be like construction updates, or after a construction project is done, you go back 2-3 years later, and they want kind of those architectural views with the greenery that's mature as opposed to when the project's just done. So they want to update that for future marketing work. I fly festivals. So these little rigs are for, flying over festivals.
Oh, neat.
This is with a DJI 04 Pro on it.
Sounds really boring. Yeah.
So that's the best work you get is the festival work, because you get this is 220 grams. So it's, under the 250 gram, even when I put a remote ID on it, and it's got DJI 04 Pro on it. So you get, 4K 60, 10-bit video that's just amazing. And I mix it up with the Air 3 when I'm doing that. So I'm getting.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So you don't need an OOP waiver or anything because it's under 250 grams and you've got remote ID. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's watch a video. Let's see Jamie.
I'm dying to see what you chose.
Hopefully I did well.
If you like them, Jamie, they're my ideas. Okay, let's go.
Very nice.
Wow.
Tell us about the music in that one as well.
So if you get a copyright strike on that music, send me a note and I'll have the publisher give you rights to show it, because that's my original music. I wrote that, composed it, recorded it, and published it. And that song is called "Breathe Again," and it's one of the songs on an album that I published early, right as COVID had hit. I got into music production, and which was actually my segue into drones, because I needed video to go with what I was publishing. So
Yeah.
"Breathe Again." Forgive me for going on a little too long.
Okay.
One of my professors, while I was doing my MBA at Emory University, his name was Ted Rogers, and so that song was a bit about him. He passed away from cancer several years ago, and it's titled "Breathe Again."
Nice.
So
Nice.
I don't want
Very
to
nice.
bring it down to the show, but certainly St. Augustine is one of the most beautiful places you can fly. I know when you're in South Florida, you talked about going to Daytona. It's St. Augustine. It's a wonderful, wonderful place.
Is that above Daytona?
It is. It's about an hour south of Jacksonville on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Just north of Daytona, and there's a gorgeous old city. There's the fort, which is in St. Augustine. It's Castillo de. It's gonna escape my mind there. But there's an old town in there. It's one of the oldest, or is the oldest city standing city in the U.S. and is just a gorgeous, gorgeous place. They have an old town that my kids love to go on vacation to.
I think someone actually mentioned that. So he said, "Well, you're going up there, right? You should go there." And I'm sure that's where they said, but obviously we were on a time limit. So unfortunately, time didn't allow us to do it. But maybe another day. There's always another trip to Florida, no doubt.
And it's just a beautiful, beautiful place to fly. Every chance I get, I go there. And I had to think, when I was watching that video, what time that was that I was flying sunrise in St. Augustine, because it's one of my favorite places to fly. The beaches are just, the expanse of it is huge. You have probably 100, 200 yards of beach before you get to the water. And so it's just, it's just gorgeous.
Good location.
I must admit, I'm very impressed with a lot of sort of Florida's coastline. I mean, it just goes on for forever, doesn't it? It just goes on. So how long have you actually been flying drones, Jamie?
So goes back to when I started composing music in 2020 after COVID or during COVID. And I had been playing music for quite some time. I played music as a child, but I taught myself guitar, going back about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And around the COVID time, I was trying to write some music, and it wasn't connecting with who I was. I was trying to write music for other people that they would like to listen to. And so I said, forget all that. The world's upside down. Things are kind of crazy. I need something to help me just chill. And so I was, composing these very kind of chill, relaxed, with these long ambient reverbs that just kind of give a sense of space. And so I was doing that. I was writing music, and I needed to put some good video to that. My nephew had a the DJI Mini, one of the first minis. And I asked him, I said, go get some video of the beach. I want to put that as video to my music and see what it's like. And it just worked perfectly. Yeah. And so I was traveling. We ended up in St. Petersburg for a little while. I brought a drone. I got some video from there, traveled to North Carolina. This is an old DJI Air 2. It was my first drone. And an amazing, amazing drone. I got almost everything that you see on, I actually have a 30-minute video of the album that's all drone video behind it on a different YouTube that nobody ever knows about. That got me into drones was music.
And you must be the second guest, because obviously we have Maria Davis, who also puts her own music to her own videos.
I think the music came first as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think the type of people who get into drones, particularly as deeply as some of us like me do, you have to have some level of creativity that's just a part of who you are. Right?
Yeah.
You want to capture these, like you get up in the air and you see this sunset and you're like, oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you make that even more beautiful, but set it to music and give it a soundtrack. And so I think there's a lot of overlap there. I see it in the FPV world with people who are, really great guitar players are also really great at FPV. And it's, it's amazing when you go to events and you meet these people, they pull out a guitar and you're like, oh my gosh, of course you're a guitarist.
One goes in hand with the other.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just watch another video. What have we got for you?
Very different next.
Oh yeah, it's a really big mix. So
Yeah, that's why I like the channel.
Indeed, enjoy.
Welcome back to James' Garage. Today's build, Cinelifter. I actually bought these parts about 6 months ago, and you know how projects go, right? Sometimes you can't get started right away, but what do we have? This is a AOS UL Cine 8 frame from CNC Drones in Canada. We love our Canadian friends. Let's take a look. So I have never built a Cinelifter. The reason I got this frame is it's reasonably inexpensive, and it comes with this really cool camera plate. Lets you adjust your angle of your camera. Even something so simple as that alone is several $100 often. This is part of that. These are standoffs in red, of course, in red. So fasteners. This carbon fiber looks phenomenal. The press inserts are nice. Gosh, that's good and thick, and it's beautiful. Can't wait to build this. Looking forward to it. This is part, oh, these are for the motors, right? Building an X8. Arms. Let's see. What's going into this Cinelifter? Well, of course, we are going to start with a DJI 04 Pro. We are going to use Sequer Mall stacks with H743 version 2 flight controller, AM32 ESCs too. So one of these flight controllers is going in here. 2 ESCs are going in here because we're building an X8. So we've got 2 stacks. One of the flight controllers are going in another drone somewhere, and HGLRC 2812 1155 kV. I've actually read some things about these motors. Several builds from HGLRC. They make the Recon 7, Recon 10. I fly a Recon 7, but not with their motors, but their bind and flies get fairly good reviews. So let's see how these motors work out. 8 of these bad boys. Next thing we're going to add here is a GEP M10 DQ, a iFly GPS mate, and iFly ELRS. So we're going to put in a Radiomaster RP for true diversity. That's the build. See you soon.
So many parts.
Finished.
And there it is.
It's done already. Now we can have a question about that video, because obviously everyone's taking note of what's going on here.
Thank you. Yes. No, this is the Cinelifter. This is the camera plate that I was talking about. So you can, set. I don't have a camera with me, but I'll just use this as if it's an example up on top of here. So when you're flying fast, that camera, is nice and in line with your subject. And as I mentioned, even that one piece for Cinelifter drones, that could be $300-400 to get it exactly how you need to mount these cinema cameras. And the whole frame, I think, was $100-150 for the frame itself. And for those who I always ask, oh, how much is that? This is $1,000 worth of parts to build this drone.
Wow.
And then I haven't finished the build series of all of this. You maybe have seen a couple of them on my short videos, but
that was just like the ingredients, wasn't it?
There's probably 20 or 30 hours worth of footage of me building this that I'm still turning into a build tutorial series.
So Jamie, when you're flying a Cinelifter, how do you know that you're keeping something in center of frame? Because your FPV is the 04 Air unit, correct? Mm-hmm. So when you put that Cine camera on there, is it just kind of a good guess, or?
So I'm keeping my FPV camera is the angle of this pen, right? And it is roughly the same as the angle of the video camera that's on top of that.
Good.
So what I'm seeing in the goggles is going to be hopefully close to, getting them exactly the same, maybe not that easy. Also, depending on your lens for a cinema camera, it may be cropped in compared to what you're seeing on this. This is like 150-degree field of view. So you have to keep your subject really, really close into the center with, I guess, a lot of practice in your flying.
Understood.
John Flynn asked the question, he said, how will the drone parts, i.e. the DJI 04 Pro unit ban affect the future drone building efforts? But Caroline's saying that it's not banned as such because it's already FCC approved.
Yeah, you can't get them shipped in though, Steve, is the problem. You have to order them from overseas.
Okay. There are vendors in the US now that have them. New shipments are coming in because of changes. It wasn't just the tariffs that was causing issues, but it was also the putting DJI on the list of companies that are potentially bad actors, right? So you've got
and then the Uyghur Protection Act, those two things.
You've got a whole bunch of things that are competing against bringing these parts into the country. But the 04 Lite product you can pretty much get at most of the FPV vendors kind of for the long term, right? We haven't seen much shortages in that. The 04 Pros, go on shortage kind of all the time. A new batch just arrived in the US, so the retailers are sending out all their emails. Get them now while you can. But then, because a lot of the parts, unfortunately, for FPV are going to support war efforts and those types of things overseas. And so there's been this 2025, 2026 has been a tough time to build because you can't get those parts. And then the DJI, things are on top of that. But you can still get them. And it just, sometimes you got to pay a little extra for it.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, if it's a hobby that you want to carry on doing, unfortunately, it all comes down to the expense of it. But but that's so many hobbies, isn't it? Really, it costs what?
Could be worse. We could be into cars, right? I mean, this stuff is cheap compared
to.
I may or may not have bought a few cars while my wife's in Europe. I don't know.
You were into music, right? So, music instruments cost more than these things do, right?
Yeah.
It's a cheap hobby comparatively.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Expensive, isn't it?
All hobbies are expensive, but at the end of the day, if you get what you want, then it's worth it, isn't it? Simple as that. Flying around the world is quite expensive.
But you know what? Flying around the world to get to cool places to fly your drone, now that's
a hobby.
And of course, as far as the South Florida drone meetup, I come the first time in 2024. I came back last year. I come back again this year. So
there's something drawing you back.
Well, to be honest, it's the whole camaraderie, the thing, isn't it? It's meeting all these people that I just know who appear in the chat and. And on the little boxes on his screen. So it's nice to actually see someone full size for a change. When people meet me, they go, "Oh, you're not that little box anymore." No, I'm a bit taller.
It is nice to meet people in person. I love it.
It is.
The FPV world has its own set of kind of events that we go to. Castle Crash is one of them. The Sloss Drone Derby was one of them. I was at that the week and before coming to the South Florida drone meetup. I kind of like went to that, spent 3 days camping out in Birmingham, Alabama, flying drones and like running from torrential rains, and back to Atlanta in the car, put the kids in the car to come down to South Florida Drone Meetup and celebrating my birthday. The drone meetups are always around my birthday. South Florida.
Busy time of year.
That's what they really are. They're actually not just drone meetups; they're actually birthday parties for Jamie.
When I get to combine all of those things together, right? Travel, my kids, and drones, and like they're like, drones, really? You're gonna go fly? But yeah.
Some people just don't understand, do they? I mean, we were out flights. I think you was with Kev. I think there's people meet up sometimes. They go, "Oh, boys and their toys," and you think it's not a toy. Hello.
Some of them are okay. Some of them are toys, and then you've got the RC cars that go with the the world of drones that are tons of fun as well. So yeah.
There seems to be more at the South Florida Drone Meetup this year. I mean, Alex brought enough cars to sort of.
He bought enough cars for everybody.
The racetrack going on there. I watched the video of that when they're driving around the the hotel car parks.
I saw that video. Brilliant. And they were doing them over ramps and all sorts.
Yeah.
I just bought one for my daughter because she wants to get into RC cars, because she saw that out at the local flying field where they've got a track, they've got the ramps where they jump, and she wanted to do it. So she's learning RC cars.
Excellent.
Well, basically, it's one of these things. I always wanted to build one, and I think maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe. It'll probably crash anyway. Right. Okay. Video number. There we go. Okay. There we go. You took your RC cars.
I promise you, I had no idea that video was coming next. So the audience is probably like, "Oh, she set that up." Right.
Happy accident.
Pure guesswork.
This is what I was flying for that video.
Oh, okay.
And this is the 65 millimeter with an 04 light on it. This is about as small of a drone as you can get. That'll carry a digital 4K, camera. And so interestingly, this interesting to me. Maybe not the whole world, but for those of us drone junkies, this camera has a much skinnier field of view. So you could see in that video, I had a little bit more trouble keeping that car in the middle of frame. So Marcus, you were asking about how do you know what you're seeing? Well, on this one, I know I see it, right? But it's a much thinner, skinnier field of view. And so you have to be much more, maybe better than I am, at keeping that subject in the middle of frame to actually have it in view for the whole time you're flying. So it's a little more challenging with the smaller one.
So Jamie, you're showing that tiny little drone. What did you call that? A 3-inch?
No, this is I call it a 65 millimeter. That's really corner to corner, 65 millimeter. They call it wheelbase.
Yeah.
But it's a 1.2 inch propeller.
What is easier or harder to fly, that little drone or like a 5-inch or some of the bigger ones?
They're all. I think this one's pretty easy to fly, mostly because you can't hurt anybody and you can't hurt it, so you have less fear, right? Yeah. The worst thing that happens is this: I throw it across the room and it crashes into something. I'm not even gonna, break a glass off of my off of the counter here. If I hit it, people fly these things inside. You might, worst thing you're gonna get it caught in your hair. So you can be a lot more adventurous and try things with this. When you're flying a 5-inch,
it do damage. Yeah,
this is a death machine. This is a blender with props that don't bend. That are these things have like a 10-to-1 power ratio, and you hit the throttle on this, and you are going 100 miles an hour in a second, and so it's just very, very, very dangerous. And strangely, people always want to start with a 5-inch when they start FPV. I'm like, no, go get yourself a DJI Neo, because this is the perfect learner FPV drone. And honestly, it's not easier to fly because it is a little bit wobbly and harder to control because you can't tune it as good as you can tune these 5 inches. But it's much easier to learn on because it's light. It's kind of the midway point between something this small and it's DJI, so it's accessible to everyone. You can start in a hover mode and then move it to manual if you want to. And these take a lot of abuse. Something as big as the Cinelifter, the only thing that makes this more difficult to fly is the nerves, because when you have a $3,000 camera on there and you crash, it's got a lot riding on the line. And this is a death drone as well. You hit somebody with this, they're going to the hospital.
Well, you've got two lots of props on each corner to just to make sure of the good work, didn't you? I mean, those
get a Neo.
When Mark was saying, when you're actually flying the drone, obviously they're actually controlling the drone, as in doing what you're doing with it. What is more responsive? Is a smaller drone more responsive than a bigger drone, or?
So it's really, I was going to mention that is the thrust to weight ratio is really what matters here. You have the 5-inch with about a 10-to-1 thrust to weight ratio, and you hit the throttle on that and it's gone. Yeah. Even if you put a GoPro on top of this and it gives it some good throw so that you can do some really cool maneuvers versus, something smaller like this that flies more like what I would call a Cinewhoop. You might have 3 or 4 or 5 thrust to weight ratio. Something like this has like 2. So you hit full throttle and this thing is struggling to really go fast. So it's that speed that really matters, how much control you're going to have with it. Something that's super, super fast like a 5-inch, and you can do really great maneuvers, but you're taking up a lot of space to do that.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the drone and the weight. The big ones, actually, for me, it's actually really easy to fly this because it's got a balanced thrust to weight ratio. It's heavy, so it keeps going when you drop the throttle. You can kind of get really, really smooth maneuvers around something with something like this. And you get too small and the wind starts blowing it around.
That is the only trouble. Marcus, you remember we bought those little drones in 2024. The I can't remember
Oh,
what they're called
those
now.
little things,
A
yeah.
little, and I wouldn't dare fly that outside. That's the one. I mean, those things.
I love those.
So
are
much
fun.
So much fun.
Someone was flying. I think it was Johnny Drone Fly was flying one at the South Florida Drone Meetup in 2024 in the hotel. And what happened? The first thing we all did when we got home, we all went out and bought one.
We all bought one. Yeah.
Does that one have a camera on it?
No, there's no camera. It's just to fly around, do flips, and yeah,
tons of fun. And then you hit a button and it does a flip, right?
Yeah,
I love those. Those are like great ways to get kids into something like this.
Yeah,
you know, is to give them one of those, and you know, you'll get 10 minutes of flight out of it and have a blast. And you put another battery in it and you let them charge, and then they'll play again. And they're just tons of fun.
I did a class for kids at a STEM class at a local library. This drone was the hit of the show.
Yeah.
Bob says he chases his dogs with those.
That's the problem. I mean, I've got 3 dogs here, and they so much as here that even, you know, when a DJI drone boots up and makes that little noise, as soon as they hear that, they go, "No, it's gone."
Yeah.
Without flying the darn thing. I mean, yeah, Bob chasing the drones, chasing the dogs and the drones. Okay, we got watch our video. Yeah, okay.
Oh, it's over. She's crashed.
You went to the archives to find that one, I think.
I did.
You can't hide anything from Jackie. If it's there, she'll find it.
That's kind of early in my FPV journey. I would say about 3 years ago. It actually looks a lot like this drone here, because it is this drone or a version of it, which is actually the same thing with different propellers or prop guards from one. I designed this, and it's part of it. Build, crash, repair, repeat is what we do when we're flying FPV. And
but at least you can though, can't you? Because obviously you built the thing in the first place. If you do crash, you go, "Oh yeah, okay, we've got a spare here somewhere."
It would be an exceptionally expensive hobby if you had to pay someone to repair what you crashed, right? Because you have to learn to solder. Like, I'll tell you this: I'm by training. I'm an engineer. I have a degree in computer engineering from Georgia Tech many years ago, and y'all will probably remember things called pagers. I used to design pagers for Motorola.
Oh, okay.
And then as part of my career progression over time, I moved to software, and I do a lot of software engineering and now data analytics at Emory University. And I'd kind of gotten away from my hardware roots, but FPV got me back into it. It got me, pick up a soldering iron and put this thing together like, I'm in undergraduate school again. And it really kind of awoke some of that maker spirit in me. And some of that, the creative side of, you don't just go buy something, you build the parts, you put it together, you design the frame. I designed this frame in Tinkercad. I hadn't used a CAD program ever in my life. And I got 3D printers. You can't do these types of builds without a 3D printer. So that's another hobby altogether that is its own rabbit hole to go down in depth to be.
I must admit, I actually see 3D printing. I just think it's great. I think it's just
it's another sort of add-on, isn't it, to this hobby? Like you've got drones, then you've got music, which overlaps it, and then you've got 3D printing, and they're all intertwined, aren't they?
And you have friends with 3D printers that I dropped it, but
You'll ask them to
you're selling my
make
cue. They send you little toys that they make on their.
Oh,
3D
of course.
Yeah.
Very cute.
the little party hat, was it, Marcus?
Johnny made me this, and you can't. It's just a fidget,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So these components that hold on, this is a GPS unit. You have to design that and print it. The piece here that holds on the camera, you have to design and print. I've designed all of these, but even on this big center lifter, these legs, this is TPU. This is a soft bendable TPU, but when you build it right, it's pretty solid. So you can land on that without destroying the propellers.
Okay.
Even
props on the bottom of it, of course, yeah.
The bay here that is holding, you can't see me, but maybe that doesn't, is holding capacitors in place for the electronic speed controllers. Those are 3D printed as well. So it's a whole bunch of hobbies together.
So Jamie, when you're designing that stuff in a CAD program, I can understand how you do that, but how do you get the measurements perfectly? Do you use like some kind of a laser measuring device, or how is that done?
So this frame, this center lifter frame, was designed by Chris Rosser, Art of Science FPV, AOS-RC.com. He's an engineer as well that has really gone about scientifically analyzing all of the components, how the drones fly, and helping people learn a lot. He designed that frame. And so I actually emailed him and said, hey, I would like to build a capacitor bay because there's not enough room. Can you send me a drawing that shows me the arc of that and where the holes are, so that I don't have to, kind of reconstruct that or reverse engineer it? He sent me a drawing, and I, plugged it into Tinkercad, and there you go. So the other ones, this frame I created, so I know the dimensions of it. But other ones like the 5-inch, where again there's some 3D printed parts on here that holds the GPS in place, and I measured with calipers because they won't give you the designs.
No.
But someone like Chris, who's very much a part of the community of FPV drone folks, because he's a YouTuber. If you guys can get him on, he would blow your minds with how much technical stuff he can tell you about FPV drones. But he's willing to work with the community because he's part of the community.
Yeah.
I mean, I just find that the FPV community, first off, it's a case of either you got camera drones, like the DJI drones and whatever, then you have the FPV drone. But there's a lot more FPV. The more you get into it, the more you actually see people what they actually do, and actually, like yourself, actually building the drones, not just going to the shop and saying, "I want one of those, please," and you take it out of the box. Okay.
And the two communities are definitely overlapping more now as well, which is great.
Yeah. Well, I think, to be honest, I think a lot of that is because of the DJI FPV.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because they've sort of got so there is a crossover there.
You get a Neo, you get a Nevada. It's kind of like even the 360s. That's has brought so many people from the camera world into the FPV world. I started on the camera world. I was flying an Air 2, then an Air 2S, now an Air 3. And I saw some FPV going on. I wanted to learn about it, and dove in head first. But this is really I think the best way to get into FPV, because it acts and behaves just like your Mavic when you've got it in normal mode, right? Even sport mode. And then you've got your goggles on, you've got your controller, you're learning a little bit about it. And then maybe you want to do some, dynamic maneuvers that you can't do with the normal mode. Then that's when you want to get into the manual mode.
I think that is why a lot of people actually got into FPV, because they obviously started off with the Phantoms and the Mavics, etc., etc., and then of course DJI sort of blew a bombshell. There we are. There's an FPV. I mean, I know when I first ever I had the what do you call a potato? The original DJI FPV drone. And
I love that drone. I actually had one.
The exhilaration when you sort of put it in sport mode, even in sport mode, not manual mode, in sport mode, you just take off of it and you think, wow, I'm an FPV pilot now.
the Avata Master right below me here, the Avata Master. Yeah.
I mean, the one thing with the Avata allows you to do, though, of course, is crash more, because the FPV drone, you crash that thing.
Oh, Jackie crashes, Steve. He crashes once in a while.
But the Avata is a great drone. I mean, I've proven that was a smash into a roof and it survived. So it bounced off of a metal roof and got landed
off of a sign, right, Jackie? Right off a sign.
Each time you crash, you learn.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, as I always say, if you're not crashing, you're not flying. There we are. That's my.
I guess I'm not flying then.
Is that a segue to a video of me crashing?
I'm sure we've got one somewhere. Talking of videos, let's watch it. I'm not sure if you crash in this one, but we'll have a look. My son is actually there right now in Malta.
That by far is Gozo is the most amazing place I've had the opportunity to fly. And that, in fact, was the DJI FPV, the potato that we were just talking about.
There you go.
Honestly, tonight's show is not scripted, I promise.
And that one had the video on the DJI FPV was equivalent roughly to 03, close to the Avata, right? Similar video system. But that had a GoPro bones on top of it. Actually took the back side of the GoPro off and soldered onto the power pads so I could power my GoPro bones on top of that drone. And I did not crash that time. I did crash when I was in Malta. I was landing in another. We were out actually sailing on a sailboat. We took a paddleboard up to the coastline, and we're sitting on a rock, and I was flying from there, and I crashed it. It didn't go in the water, thankfully. But that's Sandbox Kiosk in Gozo on the southeastern corner. And it's just an amazing, amazing place. If you ever get a chance to go to Malta, go to Gozo. The problem is you can only get to that particular location by walking down that big hill that I was flying down.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
The owners will bring a car down, but the cabs won't go down there. The hired cars won't go. It's about a kilometer walk, and it's uphill all the way back.
It's uphill both ways.
Both places. Anyway, so we haven't got Terry, but he very kindly said to me, "I'll send you a joke." So
Jokes.
enjoy the joke, Eve.
And now it's time for Terry's Joke of the Week.
Hello. An Englishman, a Scotsman, an Irishman and a Welshman, a Latvian, a Turk, an Aussie, a German, an Egyptian, a Japanese, a Mexican, a Spaniard, a Russian, a Pole, a Lithuanian, a Swede, a Finn, an Israeli, a Romanian, a Bulgarian, a Serb, a Swiss, a Greek, Singaporean, an Italian, a Norwegian, a Libyan, an Austrian, a Maltese, American, and an African all went to a nightclub. The bouncer said, "Sorry, I can't let you in without a tie."
Terry's Joke of the Week.
Oh my God.
He always does jokes like that when he's not here, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, doesn't he?
Anyway, let's have a look at the soft drone meetup.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that. You've got all that stuff to fly around, and somebody's gone, nah, it's not enough. Put a step.
It's terrifying to fly in those spaces. And I'm about the worst of the pilots that go to those events. You should see the videos from the folks who are just amazing at freestyle. This is what I was flying with a GoPro 11 on top, and tons of fun to fly, but gosh,
fun.
Like I said, it's a death machine. You can really hurt someone. I'm surprised they let us do it, but they just let us go there. They rent out the whole place to us.
Well, Caroline was saying, I mean, she said, I wonder how the signal was at Sloss with all that metal.
Yeah, I replied heavy, but your column, so I replied heavy.
Heavy metal, yeah. Oh, dear. Okay. We're running out of time, so we're going to whiz through a couple of videos now.
The last two.
Enjoy. We love that music.
That's fun.
Great video too.
Yeah, love it.
Little drone, yeah.
So, yeah, this is the little drone, the 65 millimeter. What a great place to fly. That's Bryson City, North Carolina. That's 2.5 hours driving distance from my house. Get there every chance I can because the scenery is gorgeous. You can go to Cherokee. You can do a little bit of gambling. You can go to Bryson City and get some good food by the river and the trains. It's really an amazing place.
So someone's saying about crashing.
Yeah.
It means about crashing drones. It
Gotta do
happens to the best of us, including Jamie. So
compilation.
a quick.
Sometimes things don't always work out the way you plan. I thought I was not doing the walk of shame, but came back without my GoPro.
Even the best of us crash.
That's what I look like after a full day of flying. That was just drone again, and the GoPro came off when I crashed once. I broke the GoPro protector screen.
Oh, no.
What a fun day. That's Castle Crash. That's one of the other places that we have events. They just rent the whole place out. They let us fly there. Can you believe that?
It looks fun. It looks absolutely fun. Well, we could do this all day, but unfortunately, it comes to the end of the show. It's not good at all. Jamie, thanks ever so much for coming on.
It's such a delight to be here. And Jackie, I know you mentioned manual FPV might not be in your future, but spend some time with me. I'll get you addicted to it, and then you'll have 27 drones too.
Well, Elaine's got a Neo, so maybe she'll show me how to do it in the manual.
Yeah, like Caroline, Jackie wants to fly in there. He's going to put it in manual mode. Thanks everyone for joining us, and hope you enjoyed the show. Jamie, thank you very much, because it's been entertaining, and videos and chat and whatever. We talk all night. But
yeah, you've been a great guest.
I had a blast. It was so much fun to be here today.
Thank you for being with us, Jamie.
Yeah,
of course.
And we'll be back again sometime next Sunday about 8 o'clock time, if you're around.
Same time, same bat time, same bat station. Jamie will get that one probably. You guys probably won't. But.
See you all soon. Take care, guys. Have a good week.